Electric Brains Club Band presents Charlie 2. The Electric Brains Club Band is a musical comedy group featuring Hannah Folger and Catherine Reeford. Hannah Folger is a woman with pale skin and wavy brown hair. During the introduction, she wears a black blazer. When she returns for the song about Charles II, she wears a white shirt with brown medieval detailing and a silver crown. Catherine Reeford is a tall, lean woman with short, straight brown hair, bright blue eyes, and a big smile. First, she wears a gray blazer. When she returns for the Charles II song, she sports a heavy black cloak, the shoulders covered in tufts of white fur, and a delicate silver crown. Electric Brains Club Band's entire performance is filmed over Zoom, both performers in their own homes. Behind Catherine is a plain white wall, and behind Hannah, the interior of her home office space.
Hello!
Hello, hello, hello.
We are
We are.
the Electric
Brains.
Club Band, and we present to you.
Present to you.
We weren't going to do that.
Do that. Sorry.
And we've prepared some songs for you about the history of epilepsy, or some people with epilepsy. People have overcome unsurmountable odds, or, seizures, to become the giants of history. People like
King Charles II.
Oh, we said we weren't going to do that one.
I believe we said we weren't going to not do that one. I mean, he was pretty badass for, being a pretty crappy king.
Okay, fine. Let's hurry up and get this in the can. So, Charles II, who lived from 1630 to 1685, was the King of Scotland and then the King of Scotland, England, and Ireland until his death. Due to some inbreeding, Charles was very ill and was given some rather irregular treatments.
I'm Charlie II, I am. Charlie II, I am. Doctors put saffron up my back door. They've tried this shit 7 times before. Ew, yeah, I died of an enema. Cardamom, fennel, and salt, all went up my butt. I'm Charlie II, I am. Second, chuck, more stuff up my butt. Cinnamon, linseed, mallow, bitters, aloe, beets, and cochineal.
That's a bug that they dry up to use as dyes in food and makeup, so you've definitely also eaten some, but I think it's for the best if you don't put it up your butt.
The Train Will Always Come is a contemporary dance piece created and performed by Natalie Slewis. Natalie stands on a wide stone sidewalk, dwarfed by a massive brick building that stretches into the distance behind her. The brick wall is discolored and stained, with splotches of ashy black, white, and gray. A collection of metal pipes zigzag their way up the building. Natalie wears a pale yellow dress made of thin, semi-sheer fabric. Her shoes are black lace-up Oxford heels. Her dark brown hair is pulled back in a bun, and she carries an old-fashioned olive-brown suitcase. Her clothing all has a vintage look to it and evokes the 1920s.
trouble so hard. Ooh, Lord, my trouble so hard. Don't nobody know. Oh, my trouble with God. Don't nobody know. No. No. My trouble was gone. Ooh, Lordy, my trouble so hard. Ooh, Lordy, my trouble so hard. Don't nobody know my trouble was God. Don't nobody know my trouble was gone. Ooh, Lordy, my trouble so hard. Ooh, Lord, my trouble so hard. Don't nobody know my trouble but God. Don't nobody know my trouble but God. Ooh, Lord, my trouble so hard. Ooh, Lord, my trouble so hard. Don't nobody know my trouble but God. Don't nobody know my trouble but God. Went down the hill the other day, so got happy and stayed all day. Went down the hill the other day, so got happy and stayed all day. Ooh, Lordy, trouble so hard. Ooh, Lordy, trouble so hard. Don't nobody know my trouble but God. Don't nobody know my trouble but God. Ooh, Lordy, trouble so hard. Ooh, Lordy, trouble so hard. Don't nobody know my trouble but God. Don't nobody know my trouble but God. When in the room, didn't stay long. Looked on the bed and brother was dead. When in the room, didn't stay long. Looked on the bed and brother was dead. Ooh, Lordy, my trouble so hard. Ooh, Lordy, my trouble so hard. Don't nobody know my trouble but God. Don't nobody know my trouble but God. Ooh, Lordy, my trouble so hard. Ooh, Lordy, my trouble so hard. Don't nobody know my trouble but God. Don't nobody know my trouble but God. Ooh, Lordy, my trouble so hard. Ooh, Lordy, my trouble so hard. Don't nobody know my trouble but God. Don't nobody know my trouble but God. Ooh, Lordy, my trouble so hard. Ooh, Lordy, my trouble so hard.
A black screen. In the top left-hand corner, the words Inspiration Pornhub is written in bright yellow letters. A video is playing on the left side of the screen, featuring a man sitting on a brown leather couch. The sleeves of his red shirt are pushed up to his elbows. He's wearing blue jeans and has brown hair and a well-groomed beard. He is looking directly at the camera. Beneath the video in white letters is the title, Hot Diabetic Shows Off Toys. 4.9 mil views is written below.
So, here we have Mike.
Hi.
And this is your first time filming with us? Love to hear that. So, I take it you like inspiring people?
I love it.
And how old were you when you first inspired someone?
Oh, I've loved it since an early age, really. I was pretty young.
And how about groups?
Oh, yeah. I love to inspire as many people as I can at one time.
Oh, you'll fit in just fine here.
Great.
Now, let's see what you're working with.
All right, sure.
Oh, that's it. That's good. Oh, is that a Libra? Oh, already going for the toys, are you? Yeah, just like that.
Be right there.
The Same Conversation by Smith and Vaughn Whatever. In The Same Conversation, Vaughn Whatever plays the doctor, and Smith plays the patient. The doctor has pale skin and dark brown hair pulled back into a tight bun. She wears a white lab coat with pens in the pocket, a purple polka dot scarf, turquoise reading glasses, and a turquoise stethoscope. Smith plays a patient with rosy cheeks, voluminous brown shoulder-length hair, and blunt bangs. She wears a yellow bathrobe. The scene is filmed over Zoom with each performer in their own home. Behind the doctor, we can see two large wood bookcases stuffed with books, boxes, and green plants. The patient sits in a brightly lit room in front of a deep blue wall tapestry.
So, last time you were starting to talk to me about managing your medications. Can you tell me how that's going?
You mean about managing my pain?
No, managing your medications. Can you remind me again, how many of them are you on?
17.
That's a lot.
Yeah, you prescribed them.
I just mean it's a lot to juggle all at one time, isn't it? Can we discuss how much of your pain medication you were using last month? Looking at your chart, it looks like a lot.
Do you remember when I first came to see you? I was using double that amount and now I'm not.
Oh. It's just that when we're talking about opiates, we have to be careful. They're habit forming.
So you think I'm an addict?
No.
What would you like me to do with my actual pain? I thought I was taking the bare minimum. You know what happens when I don't manage my pain? I wind up in emergency.
Well, all I am trying to say is that we need to be careful.
I'll stop taking them. I'll stop taking them.
You can't do that.
Which is it?
Look, all I'm saying is that when we are discussing opiates, that there's a particular threshold.
I'm tired. I'm tired of talking to you about this. So, let me explain it to you in real, simple terms.
Every 3 months we have the same conversation. You are worried about my pain medication. You say, be careful with this pain pill.
It helps quite a lot when you are a kid.
forming. So heed the warning. If you're not careful, you could die. Every 3 months we have the same conversation. You're fretting about my anxiety medication. You say, be careful with this chill pill.
It helps a whole lot when you are crazy. Be careful, it can make you lazy. Call 911 if you feel you wanna kill.
It's habit forming. That's why the warning. It's habit forming. So heed the warning. If you're not careful, you could die.
It's in her head. Fat female 50s nearly dead.
Pain is a part of me. It's real physically. My brain and body tally. Her real reality.
I'm worried about my liability.
Falling downstairs, passing out in the kitchen. Don't wanna make it sound like I'm bitching, but if pain ain't controlled, my heart goes wild. I pause, I can't breathe, and now my throat's closed. Start to see the light, feeling how my soul goes. I need to live for my child.
It's habit forming. That's why the warning. It's habit forming. So heed the warning. If you're not careful, your kid cries.
Every 3 months, why do we have to argue? If my pain ain't controlled, then my death will be soon. Truly have an immune deficiency. Kill me in the end, sooner or later. I hope you'd help your dog, not the Undertaker. But first, my story you need to believe. It's habit forming. That's why the warning. It's habit forming. So heed the warning. If you're not careful, you could die.
Everybody!
It's habit forming. That's why the warning. It's habit forming. So heed the warning. If you're not careful, you could die.
One more time.
If you're not careful, you could die.
My Brain Fog by Sarah Aronson. My Brain Fog is a spoken word piece accompanied by illustrative video clips. Most clips feature Sarah. Sarah is a white woman with frizzy brown hair and clear-framed glasses. Throughout the piece, she is seen sitting on an overstuffed couch, working in her kitchen, and sleeping and writing in her bedroom. She also appears outside on a gray fall or spring day when all the tree branches are bare. The clips alternate between black and white and color, sometimes extremely close up, sometimes very far away. Near the end of the piece, there is a video of a man with long hair chopping vegetables in Sarah's kitchen.
I want to write about my brain fog, but I'm too foggy to write. Every time I think of the words brain fog, my mind goes blank. Brain fog. Nothing. Brain fog. Nothing. Brain fog. I want to write something artistic, a story, beginning, middle, end. But my brain fog doesn't work like that. It just is. At its worst, it is a presence that's an absence. Silence fills my head, dominates me. An iceberg without a ship. I sit on my couch, listening to the place where thoughts once lived. Waiting. Waiting. Nothing there. I follow my sensations. Arms. Legs. Head. No thoughts. In my journal, I try to write. This, I say. That. I write. Well. As I pass the trees, I will myself to have a thought about them. I can't even think the word tree. Somehow I tell people, I can't think. My mind is empty. And they say, of course you can. You're thinking you can't think. The giant lump of nothingness swallows up any sentence I may have before I even know what it might be. I cannot even say the word hi in my mind. I cannot even ask what I am missing or where I might find it. I just am. Unable to settle into my being, the blob of nothingness taking up so much space that I can't hear myself. And in that unsettled nowhere, can't think, can't be place, the fear, terrible fear, jumping out of my body, pacing, freaking. On the web, clicking here and there, unable to read, anchor, think through the words on my screen. And then I find it. I don't know how it happens. An article one day, random Google search, a bottle from the pharmacy, sickly sweet syrup you can mix with almond milk, a laxative that draws ammonia out of the blood. At first it seems a miracle. The words are coming back and I remember who I am again. Blood tests show the poison, the ammonia, my hidden foe, still high even now. And with my freshly opened mind, I think, this explains it. This is real. Mystery solved, life regained. There is a story after all. Struggle, breakthrough, victory, the end, flowers, gratitude, bedside casseroles, people flocking round like I'm Jesus from the dead. She's better. Oh, she's better. She's back. But it's not over. I wake up with a small, slow thought in my mind, feeling almost normal for a while. But the curtain is always there, and in a few moments all I see is blackness in my way. Other times some pictures, a sense of something, dishes, laundry, something over there. I don't know what. I'm a hole with tattered edges, my thoughts like debris sucked into space. Trying to look through the rip with eyes like tractor beams, pulling, trying to pull the thoughts back in, but getting dust and rocks. Too hard. Even at my greatest effort, vacuum hit and stop, full stop. Instead of in my journal, in my head is pull and nothing. Oh, something small. A word. 2 words. A mighty tug at whatever I can see. Enough to say to you. Enough to say this to you. Not enough to know what I will become. For every meter I climb up this mountain face, my hands bleeding only to fall and smash my skull again, and these invisible wounds that no one can find and no one can fix maim my brain again. My great breakthrough, a ledge a little higher up, still obscure, hands gripping for dear life, 5 years' work. My life, darkness, fear, confusion, short circuit with momentary respite, of blue sky and bright sun, duck families floating by, bunnies hopping down the lawn, puppies run, toddlers toddle, evidence of other people's lives around me. And I, grateful for the man who chops my vegetables, feeds me when I can't think how to wash the dishes, dreams of meals, reaches to the fridge already knowing what he wants, ideas forming in his head, oh, his head of words. There is no end, only desk and wall, void and fear, reaching and being here. But a tiny light grows through the crack, a sprout in the shadows reaching outwards. Tiny tendril, barely living, almost dead again.
Escape to a world of pure inspiration. Our specialized disableds work hard to make you feel better about your miserable, sorry life. You'll see them cooking, dating, going to school, so how do you feel now?
So inspired.
I thought you might. Inspired to donate to research?
Oh. Well, no.
To volunteer with disabled individuals?
Well, no. Not that either.
To make life infinitesimally better for disabled people?
Well, not quite. But I did retweet this great meme to show disabled people just how much they inspire me.
Seriously? You know what? Go inspire yourself.
The video begins with 100 Decibels member Jordan Sangalang, a young man with tan skin, close-cropped black hair, and black stud earrings alone in an empty classroom full of wooden desks. In the background, there's a long forest green blackboard with some chalk scuffs. Jordan is wearing a white button-up shirt rolled to the elbows. The performance will later feature Joanna Hawkins, a slim white woman wearing a brown shirt and a wicked grin, and Christopher Guzman, a young man with tan skin and shaggy black hair.
Whoa. It says here deaf people back in the day, they were successful and intelligent. They were successful business owners and scientists, lawyers and philosophers, you name it. Incredible. They would even sign socially and interact with the larger community. I wonder how they actually did that. How do they interact with the larger community? How do they communicate with others? Of course. Well, the others, they just learned how to sign. I wonder where they learned how to sign. Of course, the answer's right there, right in front of me this whole time. Of course, it makes sense. You know, deaf culture really is beautiful, as is ASL. There's a lot of practice that goes along with learning ASL. So, is ASL still that beautiful language? I don't know. I wonder about that.
We are back in the Gathertown Theater where Adam, whose avatar has curly black hair, stands on the purple wooden stage that reads Cripplepalooza. A dozen little avatars sit in the front row watching. Across the top of the screen are Adam, Catherine, Fiona, Debbie, and Ange's webcam videos. Adam sits in a bright sunlit room wearing a gray t-shirt with black and gray appliques across the chest and big headphones. As Adam performs, Catherine, Fiona, Debbie, and Ange laugh.
So I've always struggled with knowing my left from my right. And I used to play hockey like every other Canadian boy. So my favorite player was Teemu Selanne on the Winnipeg Jets. He played right wing, so I played left wing. I used to circle the ice, waiting for everyone else to line up so that I would know exactly where to go. I was super fast. Like, I was faster than the average 70-year-old. Not one of those really fast 70-year-olds, but the average 70-year-old. I was also faster than the geological cycles. I had the reaction time of a leather couch. So, in my best scoring seasons, I had 3 goals in 5 years. You can't help that my parents put me into hockey late, so I was always the oldest person in the locker room. I was even older than the coach. So that paired with my amazing scoring prowess made me super popular. So I decided to employ the same strategy when it came to getting my driver's license. I was in grade 12, and everyone else was in grade 10. I was super hip. So I eventually got my driver's license on the 5th try, not to brag or anything. So one time I was going to my friend's place, so I turned right. Because I'm a huge rule follower, I turned right onto a busy street that said turn right ahead. So I was driving and I drove right off the road. How did the road suddenly disappear? I mean, seriously. I mean, there's some things that are supposed to end, like my hockey career. There's some things that are supposed to keep on going, like a busy road. So I turned around and tried to go back the way I came. And so I was driving through wet cement when out of nowhere, a bunch of construction workers came out of nowhere and started yelling at me. So I did what I always do whenever I get into conflict. I went into the fetal position. That didn't work very well. So then the police arrived. Great, the police. No, seriously, it was great because the police are my friends. So I got out of the car and I went up to the police officer and I was going to tell him about how the construction workers were bullying me. And he looked me right in the eye and said, "Sir, have you been drinking?" And it was 11 a.m. And I'm a huge rule follower, and the rules in my household are there's no drinking and driving in the morning. So I was going to explain this to the police officer, but instead I just said, "No, I haven't." So insurance eventually replaced the car, and I only drove to the last resort. My mom didn't even trust me with her car. But the bus is pretty great. I mean, you can read it while riding the bus. People really hate it when you're reading a book behind the wheel of a car. So at that time, I started doing stand-up comedy. So here's how it works in stand-up comedy. You when you start, you do open mics, and then you eventually get to go on the road. And then if you're lucky, you get to headline comedy clubs or casinos, and then you get a Netflix special. Or if you're not that good, you get an Amazon special. So I got super excited when another comedian, Matt, invited me to go on the road with him. So Matt, but I told Matt that my car was in the shop because I hate highway driving. So Matt agreed to drive me. So on the day of, it was me, Matt, and another comedian who, for privacy purposes, we're going to call Mr. French in the car. So we were driving, started our drive. So we pulled into the drive-thru for McDonald's. When Matt turns around and looks at me and is like, "Hey, Adam, is it okay if you drive home? I plan on staying in Beausejour all weekend." And I wanted to be like, "Hell no, I'm not okay with that. Let me out of the car. I'm going to take a taxi home. Hey, Mr. Taxi Driver, can you please pick me up from the McDonald's drive-thru? Here, I can buy you a Big Mac." And then Matt said, "Because if you're not okay with driving home, I'll just get Mr. French to drive home." Mr. French was like, "Sure, no problem." Mr. French doesn't even have a beginner's license.
Oh.
That was not going to end well. So my choices were to either have Mr. French's death on my hands or to drive. So I was like, okay, I can drive. So when we finally got there, it was a tiny audience. And I thought, this is the last audience I'm going to perform for before I go out in a blaze of glory and flames. We're totally going to die afterwards. So after the show, I'm hanging out by the pool table waiting for the keys from Matt. And these two cute girls come up to me, and being the flirty guy I am, I flirted and said, "Thanks for coming. Did you enjoy the show?" And one of them said, "I don't really like your set. I mean, I work with people with autism, and I think it's cool the way you make fun of people with autism." And I said, "Great, I really appreciate you coming." So Matt gives me the keys, and I'm like, "Okay, what about the GPS?" And he was like, "Well, it's actually on my phone, and I need my phone all weekend." It made me want to kick myself for wasting all my minutes playing Candy Crush. So I get out my notebook, and I'm like, "Okay, so what are the directions?" And he's like, "Man, you don't need that. You just head all the way straight, and you hit it." Okay. So I get in the car. Those are the worst directions ever. So I get in the car, and I turn to Mr. French, and I'm like, "So do you know where we're going?" And he's like, "Nah, man, not a clue." So when I'm playing with the controls of the car to turn on the headlights, I accidentally turn on the air conditioning. So it's blowing cold air on my funny bone the whole time, which isn't very funny. So every single time a car is coming in the opposite directions, I feel like I'm playing a game of chicken. So I close my eyes and let Jesus take the wheel.
Oh.
And I see if Mr. French has noticed how in danger we are. No, he's completely oblivious. So when I'm dropping the car off at Matt's, I hear a voice, "Who is that?" It's me, Adam. I'm just dropping off Matt's car. So as I'm going, it's his mom, and she's smoking a cigarette at 2 a.m. because apparently the nicotine monkey doesn't wait for anyone. So as I'm going to go put the keys in the barbecue, because that's where Matt told me to put the keys, and you always put them wherever the person tells you. She's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "I'm putting the keys in the barbecue." And then she's like, "Why?" And like, 'cause that's where Matt told me. And she's like, well, to put his keys. And she's like, well, actually, they're not Matt's keys. They're my keys, and it's my car. And even tell me he was taking it. So I had just done this heroic drive, and it turns out that the car was stolen. Yeah. I wasn't a superhero. I was a super villain, which is so much cooler. Thank you.
The Electric Brains Club Band presents Napoleon Bonaparte and Princess Josephine and Susan Boyle Sang On. During the Napoleon song, Hannah wears a black blazer and then takes it off for the Susan Boyle song, revealing an ocean blue crushed velvet dress underneath. Catherine wears a gray blazer over a turquoise shirt. When the Napoleon song begins, she adds a massive Napoleon hat made of cardboard. For the final song, she wears just a turquoise shirt.
Some of civilization's greatest leaders have had epilepsy. Some, like Charles, were born into power, but others overcame great odds to become giants of history. For example, Teddy Roosevelt, Julius Caesar, Pope Pius X,
Caligula,
Prince, Danny Glover, Lenin, Rick Harrison, star of Pawn Stars,
Caligula,
American football player Jason Snelling, Beastie Boy Adam Horovitz.
And Caligula.
Would you stop?
Fine. What about Napoleon Bonaparte? No, Dynamite. He killed a lot of people, though, so maybe he's not the icon we need. Bonaparte, I mean.
Okay, well, Napoleon Bonaparte was an average-sized French military leader who lived from 1769 until 1821. He began his rise to power during the French Revolution. He was the French emperor from 1804 to 1814, having conquered most of Southern Europe. He brought strong liberal reforms which still impact us today.
Are you reading the Wikipedia article?
No. Both he and his wife Josephine developed shall we say, a disorder shortly before they split up. It was due to this disorder that he developed many symptoms, including seizures. Despite this disorder, his last words were, "France, the army, the head of the army, Josephine."
Josie, Josie, you know that I love you, but I'm here dying 'cause I had sex with you. Due to the gonorrhea, I've changed both here and here. If it weren't for the clap, I'd take you back, but for now I have seizures too. Bonnie, Bonnie, I never really loved you. You lie there blaming me for it all, you poo. I'm not the only gal who let you explore her canal. It's not what you lack, but your heart, it's black, and my moans were never true. Josie, Josie, you know that I love you, but I'm here dying 'cause I had sex with you. Due to the gonorrhea, I've changed both here and here. If it weren't for the clap, I'd take you back, but for now I have seizures too.
does this go?
I don't know. For a while.
I feel like I've had this nightmare.
It's not a nightmare. It's fine.
Josie, Josie, you know that I love you, but I'm here dying 'cause I had sex with you. Due to the gonorrhea, I've changed both here and here. If it weren't for the clap, I'd take you back, but for now I have seizures too. Bonnie, Bonnie, I never really loved you. You lie there blaming me for it all, you poo. I'm not the only gal who let you explore her canal. It's not what you lack, but your heart, it's black, and my moans were never true.
Thank God. I thought we were going to be stuck here forever.
Oh, what's next?
Well, we did 2 about white men.
Oops. There has to be someone we can sing about who isn't a man.
I'll Google it. What about that Scottish lady who went viral because of that Britain's Got Talent audition where they thought she would suck, but she blew them away?
I love her. Can you suck and blow at the same time?
Sure, just watch me.
You ready?
Sure. Suck to blow them away.
Yes.
She dreamed a dream and sung like a god. Susan Boyle sang on. They cheered as she proved. They looked at her rude. Susan Boyle, she won. Literally, her brain was so loaded it nearly exploded. Asperger's and epilepsy. Now she's more relaxed on her journey. She's tact. Susan Boyle sang on.
This feels a little like inspiration porny. I mean, like, yeah, great. She did stuff and overcame things, but life is hard and you can't just make an ideal out of her for surviving.
Sure, but why can't we for once celebrate someone cool and rad with epilepsy who, yeah, overcame things but was also successful, not in spite of or because of, but just did great things?
Yeah, I guess you're right. Life is weird and short and sometimes shorter than we'd like. And why can't we just sing a song to a lady without it being weird or inspiration porno-y?
What if we do it, but also talk about how it's weird and life is hard and sometimes you just have to sing a song to Susan Boyle?
Yeah, I guess.
She dreamed a dream and sung like a god. Susan Boyle sang on. They cheered as she proved. They looked at her rude. Susan Boyle, she won. Literally, her brain was so loaded it nearly exploded. Asperger's and epilepsy. Now she's more relaxed on her journey. She's tact. Susan Boyle sang on.
Is it done?
I think so. No, it's still going.
Are we stuck here until the song ends?
Why don't we?
I mean, we could.
A Festin by Sassy Wheels and Quirky Kong. Sassy Wheels is the persona of Megan Ryan. She's a white woman in her 20s with chestnut brown hair that's half up, half down. She wears purple eyeshadow and rich red lipstick, a black button-up with tiny white polka dots that's tied in a knot just above her midriff, and a high-waisted brown corduroy skirt. She uses a power wheelchair. Quirky Kong is the persona of Aiden Zaglinski. He's a white man in his 20s with dark brown hair which is combed, parted, and slicked to the sides. He wears glasses with black rectangular frames, a black dress shirt, and brown slacks. At the beginning of the scene, Quirky and Sassy sit across from each other at a small dining table. The table has 2 place settings, each with an empty plate and a wine glass filled with water. In the middle of the table is a small bowl of fruit salad. Behind them is a faux brick wall, inset with 2 tall, narrow windows, divided into panes by light blue wooden framing.
Les rêves des amoureux sont comme le bon vin. Ils donnent de la joie ou bien du chagrin. Affaibli par la faim, je suis malheureux. Pas longtemps chemin, tout ce que je peux, car rien n'est gratuit dans la vie. L'espoir est un plat bien trop vite consommé. À sauter les repas, je suis habituée. Un voleur solitaire et triste à nourrir. Un jeu si amer, je ne peux réussir, car rien n'est gratuit dans la vie. Jamais on ne me dira que la course aux étoiles, ça n'est pas pour moi. Laissez-moi vous émerveiller et prendre mon envol. Nous allons enfin nous la fête va enfin commencer. Sortez les bouteilles, fini les ennuis. Je dresse la table de ma nouvelle vie. Je suis heureux à l'idée de ce nouveau destin. Une vie à me cacher et puis libre enfin le festin est sur mon chemin. Une vie à me cacher et puis libre enfin le festin est sur mon chemin.
At last, my love has come along. My lonely days are over, and life is like a song. Oh yeah, yeah, at last the skies above are blue. My heart was wrapped up in clover. The night I looked at you, I found a dream that I could speak to, a dream that I can call my own. I found a thrill to press my cheek to, a thrill that I have never known. Oh yeah, you smile, you smile. Oh, and then the spell was cast, and here we are in heaven. For you are mine at
Hey friends, that's our show. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm heading back to the venue and I hope you can come along. We have a great post-show party planned for you. That's the fun room. Beach, bonfire, fireworks, and one more chance to catch the videos you may have missed in the garden. Click on the link in the chat. Bleep bloop, bleep bloop. Or if you still have the tab open on your browser, you could click on that. If you can't come to the party though, thank you so much for joining us for the show. Tell your friends, please share links, and come back again. And please subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on social media to stay updated on Sick and Twisted Theater and our upcoming shows. Thank you, Miigwech.